Rightio, chat. Hold up. I think you can hear me twice. There we go. What's up? Welcome. We're here to just chat trade for a bit, honestly. I've been, going through all the stuff online, like literally been spending like every single day going through the news. So I thought I'd do it on the stream. I have a little Excel spreadsheet, just a small little one. I assume this is everything that we've seen so far, and then we can talk about like if we can give them what thoughts, like a rating maybe from what we've seen so far with like how the deal's been set out. Go through some other possible trades and just go through some news. Maybe get some people on call. Maybe we'll do a couple other things on the stream as well. But probably just gonna keep it more of a trade thing because I want to sort of chat a bit of footy. It'll be the last stream here for a while. And I know I haven't really done a stream in a while, so I do apologize. I mean, I did that bed stream, but can't tell you the last time I streamed just on my own in this setup. So it's a different camera angle because I got the different monitor. We'll see what the chat says at the moment. How are things? Good. Where is Oscar Allen? Right here. So the ones that are coloured in grey, they're the free agency moves. So they're not really trades, but they're the compensation picks. So what do we reckon? Because like some of these are pretty silly. Like how does Oscar Allen? Actually, I don't know if the James Warper one's actually accurate. They might have. Jeez, what a start to the bloody stream. I think we're better now. What? Yeah, okay. Stream was bugging. I think it was because I played around with what internet browser I was using before the stream started. I think. I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Jack. Actually, oh, what was that? Man, if I could figure out what I used to actually bring up the comment, because I had a little thing. I might have it. Let me see if I have it. If I don't have it, oh well. But I think I do have it. Let me just bring it up because then I can actually highlight individual comments. It actually be that this is where I'd probably want to use it. It's actually good utilization if I did it for this stream. Also, for those that just joined us, yes, it's been a little bit of time since I last streamed here. I want to do more streams. Obviously, want to do better streams. I don't want to just do streams for the sake of it. I'm just gonna sign in here, see if this works. I'm gonna just go on the Gmail app. I'll answer you. We'll just put. I don't know if you actually put a question, Chappy, but I was about to read it and then it reminded me of doing something, which I'm gonna do. Would be good for the stream. Brennan Starsfish should be West Coast, not Brisbane. Oh yes. Yeah, I mean I can change that, but that was involved in a three-way trade. So a lot of like mini pick swaps. I'm not too sure exactly the fine details behind that, but Freo I know we're involved a little bit. But we can go through all the deals, and we'll also go through the live updates as well. And just whatever people in the chat want to ask if they have questions. Like I haven't really, like I did make a video on Tuesday. I can't deny that I did that, but haven't really been known as the draft or trade period guru, like someone that knows everything about it. So I won't be making heaps of content on it, but I thought I still wanted to do something. So this stream was why I did that. But give me a sec. Let me see if I can actually get this working. Please. See if this is gonna work. If it doesn't work, then I would like to be able to actually have the comment selected on the screen, which I used to have on the earlier streams this year, but then I stopped, and I've actually forgotten how to use it again. So I'm trying to see if I can figure it out. Otherwise, we'll have to just leave it there. But yeah, I would have wanted to click on the select comment, but I mean, I guess I can figure it on the spot. But I kind of don't want to do it on the spot. I should have remembered it before, honestly. Yeah, so there obviously we can put in some other, like, what are some other ones we can chuck in, obviously, as possible trades? I mean, kind of, yeah, I went through Butterick. I think that'll happen soon-ish. So Bulldogs will get them. We'll get him because he requested a trade. Kerno to the Swans. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be to Sydney or no one. I don't reckon Geelong are in the mix anymore. Yes, I know Geelong are in the thumbnail. Yeah, I kind of just did it for clicks, to be honest. But it looks like the Cats might not get Kerno. They might not get Marshall either. What do we reckon with Rowan Marshall? I mean, I feel like he's staying now, especially given we backed out of the Lee Kalia. Well, that's probably why we pulled out of Lee Kalia, Luke. There's maybe something that we last minute found out that we decided to, you know what, maybe it's not worth the risk. But I'm not too opposed. I do feel like we sort of stiffed him. He's not happy with it, but I reckon, I don't know, what other teams could be a good suitor for Lee Kalia? I'm not sure. I was hearing Collingwood. They were talk like a few teams. Like someone will eventually probably go and target him. What's the point of keeping Marshall and getting TDK? Yeah, look. See, with TDK come in, I wouldn't have really cared heaps if Marshall went out because Marshall isn't as good of a tap ruckman as TDK is. So to advantage, a lot better with TDK being he's younger. But because like they're bringing the rule that there won't be an extra sub, there'll be an extra. No, there won't be the subs. There'll be 23. So it might make it a little bit more sense to play 2 rucks. So it wouldn't be as bad, I don't reckon. So I think, you can have one player up forward and the other player resting in the ruck position or vice versa. So I don't think it's going to be too bad. I reckon it's better off we've kept Marshall, to be honest. Sucks for Geelong, though. They're not going to get anyone. All right, what do we think of Jack Silvani to the Saints? Like, just opinions. I want to hear him in the chat, and I'll go through them. Is Archie to Adelaide confirmed? Well, they're going to probably leave it very late. They're probably going to leave it till literally the last day. And this is a thing I haven't really mentioned. I briefly mentioned it, but I want to do another deadline day stream. And I'm going to be in fucking Phuket, Thailand. I'm leaving tomorrow night. So I don't even know if I can guarantee that, but I enjoy the last day of deadline day. And potentially the Saints could be involved last minute as well. But let's go through possible trades. So Kerno, will that happen on the last day? Again, I'm probably not 100% sure on that, but I'm going to say it won't be one that happens. Well, actually, wait. I need to actually look this up real quick. Is the trade period like... hold on, I'm just going to get the chat up on my laptop because I can't read enough of the chat on here. I don't think the trade period actually runs on the weekends, do they? I'm almost certain, actually, on that. So this is going to be all the news until Monday. I mean, it's obviously wrapped up for the day. I believe it always wraps up at 6 and starts at 9. Let me know if you guys would be interested in jumping on like a little StreamYard call. If there's anything you want to talk about in particular, then I'll probably do that. I actually enjoy doing the StreamYards when it's actually formatted well. When it's not just chaotic, random people on, no idea what's going on. And I hated it when I did that stream the other day for grand final week because there was just too much shit going on. And that stream, that day was frustrating because I had another one planned on Thursday, the IRL, and that didn't work out the way I wanted it to because of the issues that I had. Let's go through some more of the chats. Jamari Hagan to the sun. Yeah, he's passed the medical. So looks like that's going to happen, like confirmed now. So we're probably going to see in the next couple of days. And I don't think, like, what will the Bulldogs give up for Jamari Hagan? I'm an expert. Says, yeah, I'll do it later, maybe in like an hour or so. I'll probably go stream for this hour and a half, 2 hours, just see how the general stream performs. Thoughts on Jay Tomo's stream? Well, it's got nothing to do with the trade period. I was on it for a bit. I think it's pretty cool. He's trying different things on his streams to make his channel fresh and all that, but it felt sort of rushed. I mean, I like that idea, but I'd probably do it. If I did something like that, I'd probably put more time into planning it so it's more entertaining. Do you reckon Simpkin gets to Collingwood? Yeah, I'm going to look that up. We're going to actually also have a look and read at some of the articles as well. I did see that rumor start circulating today, but I don't know much more than, like, honestly, that. I believe that North Melbourne are going to be wanting quite a lot out of it, obviously considering Simpkins. Yeah, we'll go on this article. Uh, wrong. Sorry, I got everything wrong there. All right, this is the article. Okay, good. You got headphones so you won't echo. That's good. So it looks like North Melbourne is wanting 2 first-round selections for Simpkin. And for Collingwood's sake, that would be like probably 18, 19. Is that, would you say that's a reasonable? Probably. I don't know. Maybe slightly overs. Is Petrarca going to the... Yeah, he'll probably... Wait, hold up. Can you hear that? This is what I'm hearing currently.
Your returns pre-filled and
I'm hearing
ready.
a fucking thrifty ad.
Add deductions or link your bank and our...
Fuck that. Why would it just play with audio? Normally ads are silent. Now they've actually made it on all these websites that they bloody blast your headphones. By the way, I got new headphones over the last couple of weeks as well. They're pretty solid. Luckily got... Yeah, that's good though. Ainsworth picks... I just want to read a little bit more about this. Like, I just want to know how likely this is going to happen. North Melbourne want 2 first-round picks for Jai Simcom. Collingwood believe they can figure a way to pay salary, but won't hand over the picks. Well, is he... I don't even know if he's contracted. Craig McRae is keen on bolstering his midfield, especially since they were dismantled in the preliminary final to the eventual premiers Brisbane. Briefly looked... Yeah, so they were obviously targeting Oliver. He'll be going to Giants. I think that's going to happen. I reckon that's going to happen Monday. What's this? Now I'm just going on a big bloody random... What is this? Practical guide to trading of first round selections. Clubs must have a first round presence in 2 years of each 5-year period. For example, ahead of... I don't know if this has actually got any relevance to what we're actually trying to get information-wise, but what is this? So they have to make a first round selection. Okay, right. Interesting. Anyways. When are the grand final predictions coming? Grand final predictions? I mean, of a lot of the videos that I still haven't got released yet, that's not one of them. I've already put that out. All right, interesting. Jai Simkin talk. Let's get back to going through some other possible deals that could get done. So, we'll switch tabs. Do you think Carlton will accept Haywood in 3 first round? Well, what are Sydney's first rounds going to be? They're going to be better than Geelong's. So would it be... What would Sydney offer? It'd be 10 and then futures, or do they have another first round pick? I've got to pick 11. Yeah, because falling. It was probably originally pick 9 or pick 10. Do you think Zach Butters will leave Port Adelaide? He'll leave Port Adelaide, I reckon, next year, Sarah, but I don't think it's happening this year. I mean, we were hearing news a few days ago, but they pretty much shut off any possibility of that happening. But you never know. I mean, I doubt it. Really do. Heavily doubt it. We saw... So Corey Durden got traded to Port Adelaide. I did not hear shit about this until it just popped up in my feed. Was this... Like, did anyone else only just find out about it randomly, or was this sort of kind of known? And I'm just an idiot. I'm genuine on that one. Ainsworth, I thought it was going to take a bit longer, but I guess they just made a 3-way deal, so they sort of had the picks right for that. And then Campbell Chessard, I wouldn't mind hearing opinions from Blues fans on what they think of that. I know Blue Abroad, they do their trade week stream, so they probably talked about all that, but I would like to know. Fiorani to the Dons and Oliver to the... Yeah, Fiorani will go to Essendon unless they back out of it like St Kilda did with Lee Kalia. It did feel random. And I didn't feel like Durden was the sort of player the Blues would kind of want to give up. I know they haven't got great departments in terms of small forward talent, but I feel like a lot of the fans would have wanted to keep him. Where is Mitch Nevitt? Well, Reece Stanley and Mitch Nevitt extended their contracts to another year. So because of that, that may have had some sort of a part into the Marshall trade, possibly. I'll tell you, okay, of all the players, because I haven't really talked about this, of all the players, honestly, like the Koning Silvani, but honestly, Sam Flanders, people are saying that he's not worth pick 7, but when you really think about it, that's going to be pick 10 or 11. It's already pick 8. And, you know, with the draft hand this year, and I've not even spent more than an hour investing any time in actually researching the talent for this draft class. So I got fucking no idea. Like, I'm not making a single video. I'm maybe going to do one stream and that's it. But but what I do know is that the draft class for this year is pretty weak compared to other years. So I just don't think pick 7, which will end up being pick 11, will guarantee you a star when you've got someone like Flanders, who is a proven midfielder, and he was actually really, really good in 2024, I think. 2025, he had a bit of injuries, played out of position, was fighting for list spots because, Real, Anderson, and Miller were in the midfield. So, good luck to Flanders. But he's a player that the Suns would have wanted to keep. But, I mean, he will just slot straight in and he'll make our side a lot better. So, and he's clean with the hands as well. Him and Naz, you got TD caked. I don't want to sound like a fucking wanker, but I think we're going to be pretty good next year. And a lot of people are sort of jumping on that. Some think that, we're all buying players for nothing, for no reason, and nothing will come from it. But it's probably the most excited I've been since, ever in a way, because in all honesty, when I was like a 6-year-old kid in 2008, 2009, I couldn't really be that excited because I didn't really know much. Now I'm a lot older and it's a lot more different, and we're in a position where we can actually contend for a bit because we've drafted well, we've put in some plays, so we just got to see happen now. We've got actually star talent in our team. So I like that trade. I'm talking about the community post. You said oh shit, yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, I'll probably do it after the stream. How about that? Not that it's a big deal, but I did say I'd do it, so yeah, fair enough. Flanders also had a good back in 2023 and Jew got sacked as well. Yeah. No, so I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. And I don't think the Suns would hate it because they actually get decent value. I initially thought 7 was overs until I read a little bit more on it because I thought we weren't going to trade our pick 7, but I'm not really that pissed. You've got so many good ones. Well, I mean, I remember 2019, everyone thought the Saints did so well in the trade period, but we sort of recruited players that were kind of for, I don't know, I didn't feel like we recruited the right players at the right time in our progression because I still thought we were a few years off of properly contending. Then we had a good year in 2020 and then we fell off again. We never really had the proper young quality talent coming through at that stage. Can you pull up the 2019 trades for the Saints? Yeah, I will see how that's panned out because what's the right website for that? It's FootyWire, yeah? Yeah, I know we did make a semi-final, but it was during 2020, so it was reduced quarters and reduced season. So perhaps maybe we wouldn't have done so well if it was a full year. So it's like you can't really read heaps into a COVID affected season in it. What's the website? Draft Guru. I've heard Ivan Soldo wants to go to Vic, and it's most likely the Saints. Well, you know what? I'll put a tab to that because that was circulating last year. But why would we want Soldo now that we probably will keep Marshall? If you're being serious on that, why would Soldo want to go to St Kilda? I mean, there are other teams. Wouldn't you want to go to someone like an Essendon? Who are Essendon's ruck stocks now? Generally, Essendon should be targeting a ruckman. Yeah, let me just see. What do I actually look to find trade? Okay, gotta go trades, I reckon. 2019. Can we go St Kilda? So St Kilda got Ryder. But I want to actually go and find the actual trades. Yeah. Oh fuck, I gotta scroll down a bit. I wouldn't mind Sutter since TDK is gone. You drafted Liam Reedy. What do you think of Reedy? A lot of Freo fans are so glad he's gone. And I won't lie, the games I've watched of Reedy didn't show me much promise at all. He's probably VFL at best at the moment, but I mean, you're going to need someone. But you've definitely downgraded in that department. So this is 2019. Let's just look at the Saints ones real quick. I mean, I don't really want to go through this for too long because it's kind of not that relevant. So we traded away pick 12 and 18 and a third rounder for Howard. See, looking back on it, it probably wasn't worth the deal. I don't think we got good value overall. Like, Ryder was good for 2 years, but he was never going to be around for that long. And I mean, Howard, he might not even make our best team next year. I don't know. Like, again, Saints fans, let me know. I mean, I'm a Saints fan, obviously, but then we made a trade for Hill. So Hill was traded for pick 10. I know we gave a lot for Hill. He probably hasn't lived up to it either, but like he was good in 2020. But then 2021 we saw a bit of a fall off. But he's a bit of a whipping boy, but he's all right. I mean, brings good culture as well as a mentor for the Indigenous players on the team. St Kilda, Sydney. So yeah, we got decent value for Jones. Was good for a few years. And then there was another player we got. We got Butler, and Butler was really good, and he's sort of fallen off. Like, he's probably not making our team next year, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Down Butler. Like, you've got Higgins and Ryan. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely more experienced, Nick, but I don't know. How old is Soldo? If St Kilda win the wooden spoon next year, will you switch? No. Dumb question. How is Merritt to Hawks developing? We can look up on that. Like, I actually haven't really seen heaps. Like, I don't go on every single article there is. And I haven't for the Zach Merritt one for the last couple of days, but I just feel like it's still a bit of a stalemate, but we'll have a little look. So it looks like the Merritt trade will only happen if the Bombers board says so, which I kind of already knew about. And fuck off. I hate when websites, and I know this is just for free, but why are our ads not enough? Like, you're giving us sites filled with ads. Why do we have to like pay now to like read articles? Herald Sun pissed me off, but there's a cheat way of doing it. And it's a bit of it. If you really wanted to read the article, what I did actually when doing the trades, I'd screen record the article. You'd have maybe 2 seconds where you can actually see it before the notification pops up. You scroll down to the bottom of the article really quickly, and then you freeze frame every bit. And I did that. And big fuck you to Herald Sun. But let's find one that I don't have to worry about signing in for. Because I don't know. I actually really don't know if this is going to end up happening. And what will have to be given up. I reckon Hawthorn might have to give up a player. Well, it was a dumb question, to be honest. Would I change teams if we finish last? I mean, we'll obviously probably won't finish last, but even if we do somehow finish last, like, you don't see me doing that. Essendon is said to have no interest in trade. Of course they're going to say that. If all that's offered is oh, well, fair enough. Yeah, obviously. Why would that be enough? They have to give up more. They'd have to see plays involved. What would get a deal done? What would get a deal done? G'day, Com. Who's your premiership favourite? No, Brisbane. I'll probably go Brisbane for the three-peat. Speaking of reacting to predictions, I'm going to film that tonight. And I don't really know when I'll be able to post it, but hopefully as soon as I can. I've got a lot of time on the plane to edit. And I've got to stop over in bloody Malaysia for like 5 hours. So I don't know, maybe there's a good spot there to edit that video. But tomorrow will be Gather Round Bingo. Not Gather Round, Grand Final Bingo. And a really solid edited video as well. I just spent ages on it, so it should be good. And that begs the question, should the Bombers agree to a trade if the Hawks can cough up any more? I honestly reckon the Bombers might keep Merritt. That's the way I see it, or they'll get screwed over. Doing any members vlog? I'll do a more Cardman vlog. I mean, I'll do some members streams. You know, I promise I'd do a members stream every Monday. I haven't done one in a few weeks, but I'll bring it back on Monday and I'll do like an IRL, maybe like a bit of a room tour or whatever of where I'm staying. The Hawks were exceptional this year. I think we'll emerge out of the finals. Will Day comes back in the side. Yeah, Will Day, Merritt, Newcomb. Everyone thinks the Hawks will finish top 4. What do we reckon Hawthorn finish in 2025? 6, sorry. Merritt and management are yet to request a trade despite made it clear he does not. Yeah, and the way he expressed himself. I'll listen to this real quick. 11th. What makes you think they'll finish 11th? I don't think there's anything telling me that they'll drop. I mean, they finished 8th this year, but ultimately finished third in not 4th. After finals, did they lose by less than Collingwood? I actually can't remember. I think they lost by a bit more, but Brisbane could win more than a third Premier. Well, they just they're not getting worse. They're getting better, and that's the thing that a lot of people are probably getting a little bit pissed off about the whole system, especially the free agency and all that. But I mean that's smart. So they're upgrading, getting Draper. I think Draper is an upgrade on McInerney, given profiles and age and all that. And Oscar Allen, well, I think he can flourish under a new environment. So, yeah. I don't know.
Zach Merritt. Now, this was your comfort zone because you broke this story about him.
This was a while ago. I want to watch the video because I may not have seen it, and it might give me a little bit of an indication.
Dinner with Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, he did. And
Allen's better than Hipwood. Well, yeah, I agree. Hipwood's not he's not that good.
What's happened before and what's happening in the future.
I'm never ever going to lose the love for the club. I wasn't disappointed.
Obviously, you'll say that.
Club and do what's best for the club, and I'm a contracted player. I fully expected them to do what's best for the club. No player or individual is bigger than the club as well. So,
why is Tom Morris nodding his head like a fucking wanker like that?
The last couple of years, and these past few weeks, been difficult, but your support, your messages of support have been incredible.
Yeah, I'm sure they have.
Oh, well, I already saw that. Did they talk about anything more? I already saw that clip.
Have been maybe not at board level and the football department.
It sounds like a bit of a.
I actually want to watch the clip for that. Because I didn't read the clip. I just saw all of the talk about the best and fairest speech. So I just assumed, all right, well, I didn't actually end up watching it. Maybe it's something I could do. Hawthorn need a Warple replace. Yeah, but mate, Warple is just not that great. He was never. Like, I don't even think he was a top 3 midfielder for Hawthorn last year. So, yeah, it'll probably make Geelong's team. But, I don't know. He's a lot of games I've watched him this year, he's just seems like he's just almost accepted the fact that he's not playing for Hawthorn. Maybe that's why he wasn't so good in some games. How much will Clary help the Giants? Well, it's with GWS are just recruiting troubled players left, right, and center. Let's have to look at the Clayton Oliver GWS news. I mean, I think the fact that they might get him for fucking nothing. They might get Clayton Oliver for a 3rd rounder. That's what pretty sure that's what they were saying. So Oliver's now, obviously we probably already know this. If you don't already know this, you know it now. So Oliver's reported a trade, nominated the Giants. I think part of that decision is because it's out of the Melbourne bubble. And he might just be sick of this fucking Melbourne environment and probably having all the press come up to him and all that. So, wouldn't hate going to... And the Giants are a team that could be successful in the next few years. I don't know if the Giants will be that great next year, but they should probably make finals. But people might have them slumping. How dare you take Tom de Koning? Man, I was pretty confident he was leaving halfway through the year, so it wasn't a surprise that it ended up happening. Hey, look, you can give up to Koning and Silvani and all that, but you've got Chester and Liam Reedy and Ben Ainsworth. That's going to make you a top 8 team 100%. So good luck. Carlton are doing big things in the trade period. They actually have made a few moves to Blues when you think about it, and they're also expected to bring in Buku Karmas. Kitty Common fully fit too. Tom Duday is another player. Like, I haven't really heard anything of him. Like, he was also injured for most of the last year as well. So, Starcevic out. He's obviously an important player, but it really isn't a massive loss because they have other players that'll just fill the role, like Payne and all that. Gardner, Andrews. They've got heaps of defenders. A premiership player key in 2021. Yeah, I know. Big, massive fall, especially given Melbourne need to pay out the contract still as well. So it's just bad on all aspects for Melbourne. Melbourne I reckon finish bottom 4 next year, honestly. It's got all the ingredients for a shitty season, but probably get a good draw though. AL says Giants had the listic in it. Yeah, well, I was not big on the Giants until, honestly, after they lost against Hawthorn, the way they just sort of didn't really, they just didn't give it like the Hawks did in that game. It just, to me, just felt like, I don't know, I just couldn't really trust the Giants. It's always hard to trust GWS. Jack Payne was also injured. Yeah, I know. Can he ban me or do I have to swear? I don't know why you want to be banned, mate. This isn't a stream to act like a dickhead. Well, none of my streams are, but this one, not really one of those streams. So what? Yeah, Melbourne are going to have to pay Oliver's salary because of how long the contract ended up being. And that is a good point. Josh Kelly is apparently injured for most of the year, so that means Oliver will just probably slot in for him. Let's see. Where was that? I swear I heard something. Was it on like a show? I was on one of the shows. I'm not sure. I just literally clicked on this article for God's sakes. I'll go this one. Thoughts on the Saints' decision to not go. Look, I wanted to get Aaliyah, but I'm not. It's not really that big of a worry because I feel like that department we were okay in. You know, we've got Taru coming through, Caminiti. He's he'll be there. Wilkie, Howard. So it's not as big of a worry. And we do get to keep Marshall, I reckon, because of it. So not the biggest worry. And he's not massively proven, but the way we approached Lee Clear, kind of guaranteeing him he'll play for us and then just sort of being like, you know what, see you later. Kind of was a bit harsh, but it's the industry. All right, I'll have a look at your clip then, Luke. I'll find that. Oh, it's really long. I thought the clip was going to be like a minute long. Is there a particular part? Say Mums Saints don't bottom 4. Mums doesn't mean anything anyways, but yeah, they won't. What part? Jeez, it's got 15,000 views. The comments reckon he's out. Like all of the comments. I probably won't watch the whole thing. Oh, you sent me a short. All right. Okay. I'll grab a link of that then. If there's a short, I may as well. Geelong need Rowan Marshall, so trying to get another deadly forward. Yeah, but when someone like Curnow is available, a two-time common medalist that wants to play for your team, you probably just go for him. But I sort of agree. They don't have a massive need for Curnow because I got Shannon Neal, I got Jeremy Cameron, still one of the probably the best key forward. But I sort of like he's there, so they're gonna go for him if you know what I mean. But I don't think the chances are very low. And I know Geelong Curnow's in the thumbnail, but it's because I thought it was a cool thumbnail photo. Why is it not loading? Well, the short isn't loading. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure with that one. Stanley and Blixavs are old as fuck. Yeah, and I don't know about. I'd rather, for Cat's sake, Blixav doesn't play mainly ruck as well. So I do agree, and they've got Nevitt coming through, but I think they'd want someone better than that. So they sort of missed out. But I mean, I don't care. I don't really care because it's Geelong, to be honest. And despite all you might have seen with my grand final when I went to the game and supporting the Cats, I don't really like the Cats that much. I'm not a huge Cats advocate. Hold on, I'm going to put this stream on my story so we can maybe get a few people on Instagram. So give me a sec. I'll do that. That's the way Marshall should go to Geelong. Would have made the most sense. And it still might occur, but it was Sam Edmund, I'm pretty sure, that pretty much put a line through that happening. he said that there's no chance that the Cats will pursue him or get him, so that he'll be guaranteed playing for St Kilda next year. But I don't know if that's 100% guaranteed, but it's what I've seen. Yeah, the short it still hasn't loaded. When that loads, I'll Oh wait, no, it's loaded. All right, we'll watch it and then we'll put up on my story. Brody Milchek will move to. Oh, that's another. No, it's already happened, mate. It already happened. Just forgot to add the text there. I thought he was a free agent, but he's been moved along with a pick. So I might have to look into that a little bit more. But I don't know. I think Brody Milchek, he'll be good forward presence for Melbourne that they do need. And it'll be good for the next 3 years and can probably help develop the young forwards coming through. So you take Milchek when he's there. He's not been a bad server for Collingwood at all.
I respect the club's position regarding their desire to retain me at the football club and fully understand.
No, deadline
that
day is not tomorrow. It's Wednesday next week.
I acknowledge that there are complexities and uncertainty right now, and regardless of the
So it makes it a lot more awkward because he won the best and fairest as well.
And with
as
the
a
help of
captain,
those closest to
contracted.
me, work through those factors at play. I don't have control over what others say or do, but from my perspective, I will always show care and consideration for the fans, my teammates, coaches,
Should
and the
Saints
club.
give up Marshall for another
Even if we
good player as
disagree
you have
on some
TDK?
things, that's my commitment and it will not waver.
Like
What I can
who
say
though? Like
categorically
who's actually on the
is
market?
My approach to football has always been the same. That is to stay ultra professional, gather the right information from people.
Or are you
I
saying like
trust,
use that pick?
and make the best possible decisions for
Because
my
I
career and
think the
family.
Cats were offering pick
No club
19,
should
which
be defined by
you
one
could get some
person,
good
and
value out
Essendon
of
is
pick
no
19.
different. It's a sum of all parts that makes the club.
I'm not
what
sure
it
if
is.
Cam McKenzie would be
If
on
I've
the
learned anything across
table.
my last 12 years, time that I've shared with 160 teammates, a huge number of football department staff, under the leadership of 5 coaches. It is more than
Feels
just
more
being
like a
passionate
YouTube
or hoping that the
long
club
than
will
a
get
short.
better. In elite sport, you must execute the shared vision and perform to the highest standards day in and day out. Lastly and importantly, my heartfelt thanks to the fans. You always show up. I respect.
I assume they surely wouldn't have cut out the more important part, but yeah, I can understand why that's concerning if you're an Essendon fan. Mychek's been sort of rubbish the last 2 years, but but when he's at his best, there are not many people in the league who can stop him. What are his I don't want Bing. I hate Bing. Literally, I fucking pisses me off. Get terrible search results using that website. Brody Mychek. I'm just gonna quickly go on AFL tables because it's good to just see stats. Just like what were his goal outputs for 36 goals isn't that bad. And the year before he averages 1.5 to 2 goals a game. It's not that bad. Not really that what has been rubbish about him then? Like it might not just be the goals. Swoop Luke cried over him. I doubt he cried. I don't think no disrespect to Mychek, but he's maybe he's got more of a connection. But I don't think Mychek's the sort of player you'd cry over departing the club. Fair enough if it's a retirement and someone like I don't know a star and like when Joel Selwood did for the Cats, fair. He'd been out of form for the last few rounds of the season. Yeah, right, fair enough. I've always seen Mychek as not a star, but a solid contributing forward target, B grade sort of player. He's never really been an A grade, obviously, but you know, he's kind of like a Tim Membry in a way, like just not as it's completely similar, but I feel like he's a similar sort of player to him. Did he kick 36 this year? We did. I thought with what you said, he would have been like 100% under 30, like in the 20s. He kicked. Oh, well, he did have he kicked 5 points in the final. That's right, against the Crows. He didn't kick a goal in September. It was well held, but that's not bad. That's not that bad. Like Melbourne should get 30 plus from him next year because they'll have less up forward, I reckon, compared to Collingwood. No one cares about trades, Carlton fan. Well, mate, even if look, you're saying that obviously probably because of you're pissed off of that you lost certain players, but that doesn't mean no one cares. As I was about to do that, let me just put this up on my story. Oh, we've hit 10K followers again. We were out of 10K and then we've hit it again. It's probably going to go back down. That's why I like can't afford just to like have a week where I post literally nothing, which was sort of last week. I can't really afford to do that. Should we also do that? Hold up. I'm going to put up quickly right now. I am going to have a thing on the channel very soon. Let me just put it up where I go through the top 10, top 15 games of the season, but I want it to be fan voted. So we've got like 50 responses. I put it up my Instagram story, but I haven't actually put up anywhere else. So if you guys, in the meantime, I'm just going to put it up. That is a pretty dumb question. Watch his vids. Yeah, that's a stupid question, Zach. I mean, what? Because are you saying that because I this year was supporting other teams when I was at neutral games, particularly interstate? Because I only do that so I have something sort of more to do in the game. One of the silliest questions I've heard all year. You can't be a bandwagon if you've been supporting that club all your life, especially given it's a club that's been historically unsuccessful. We haven't really seen any success at all. I haven't, at least. And most St Kilda fans haven't because, you know, we've won one in 1966. All right. Give me a sec. I wouldn't be shocked if he played the majority of the second half of the season injured because he was on a major decline. Well, look, Melbourne gave up nothing, pretty much nothing. A future third and pick 61 is, to me, nothing. So, like, it's a free hit, really. I think Melbourne probably would take that. I'm saying new people who start following. Well, still, why would people think that? No, it's very easy to tell, even if you're a new person with all the passion that I'll bring if I'm supporting the Saints, that I haven't just jumped on the band. All it takes is clicking on the channel and you're seeing all the other videos. And even if people think that, which fuck their fuckheads if they do, I don't really care. I know it's not true. All right, let me just chuck the link in. How many people do we have watching? Yeah, like that's the thing, right? I feel like this sort of, when I make these sort of videos and streams, people don't really care as much. But let's get back to it. But yeah, in the meantime, if you want to do that, I'll pin the link. So vote for the top games of 2025. 15 we're doing, but just put your 5 in. And I'll do a video and a post in the next week. Probably not next week since I'll be going away, but the week after. Given it won't be too strenuous of a video to get done. Geelong doesn't need Kerno. Well, who do you support, mate? Like, genuine question. Who said that? JT game. Who do you actually support? I love how real you are. Cheers, Baden. But I feel like I've been that way really forever on the channel, on the streams and all that. You forgot Jai Sarong to Sydney. Yeah, but that's a possibility. We can chuck. Why don't we keep? What are other, like, genuine? You can't just throw out a fish in the water and say Nick Dacos to bloody Tasmania because, yeah, they said that as a joke, but that will never happen. What are other realistic deals that could get done over the next week. We got Josh Wrong. Well, not to Hawthorn, to Sydney, I should say. So imagine the Saints get Curnow. How would we get Curnow? What would we give away? We'd have to give away like players. And it's going to be a thing where the Blues are probably going to decline most, if not all, offers unless they get players. So what players are going to be wanting to leave to go to Carlton? That probably don't want to go to Carlton. Holy shit, Bombers are goalless at 3/4 time. Oh, is the women's on? Yeah, but that sort of shit's not the biggest surprise. You actually do see that more often than you probably would hope. Like, I do enjoy the odd AFLW. Really, against the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs aren't that good this year. I thought Essendon were half decent in the AFL women's. Geez, that's actually a shock. Normally in the AFLW, you watch a game and you sort of know what the result will be. That is a pretty shocking result. But anyways, we're not really give a shit about that at the moment. Row bottom for Curnow. Not straight swap. He'd have to be included in part of a bigger package. Is Calamarchi to... Well, it'll happen. It'll happen. Well, I'll be almost shocked if it doesn't. So yeah, I didn't put down Calamarchi. Row bottom isn't going to leave. You wouldn't think so, but crazier things have happened. He was speculated for the Suns. That's what I put in my video for those that if anyone watched that. But look, I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen. Even in that, I said it was a low chance. It was just a speculation. Essendon have lost the last 5 games in a row. Yeah, they've dropped their form. They had a good game against North. I know that was true, but apart from that, they haven't had a good run of form. I don't really watch much of the games. I normally just check the scores, and that's about it. Watch St Kilda when I get the chance to. If the Saints make an interstate AFL women's final, I won't go because I probably wouldn't be able to afford it, but I will I'll probably stream it. I've done a couple of streams for the women's over the last couple of years. And obviously they don't get that many viewers, but I don't do it for the views. I do it because I actually want to watch the team. Obviously they won't have a 2-time common medalist on the team. That tells you a lot. What are we? If Kerner leaves, well, I think Carlton are cooked regardless. Because even if he stays, it doesn't look like he wants to actually play for the Blues. So culturally, I think there's a big worry at the Blues. The Blues aren't a team that clubs want to play for at the moment. You're not really going to want to go to Carlton. Yeah, I know they did pick up some other plays. Can I actually? Why did West Coast? Why did Carlton target Chesser? I might actually look that up real quick. What's the reasoning behind that deal? Campbell Chesser. Have you been to 20 games this year? I've only been to 1 women's game, which is actually kind of low. The games that I wanted to go to this year, like at RSCA, unfortunately, were times when I just had things on, like, you know, I'm pretty sure one of the days was after a final. I just needed to edit a vlog. I couldn't really afford going to the women's game, so I just watched it at home. Trade to Carlton. That happened today. So they made a couple of moves. I think Ryan was yesterday, and then the other, yeah, these with. All right, let's have a look, because I don't know if 41. It does seem a little steep for West Coast's sake, given he was a pick 14. Oh, he's only played 36 games. Wait, what? Barrel of series of injuries times at playing 36 games, including the last 4. I thought he played a lot more than that. Fuck, okay. So he must have just had a real injury. I didn't even know much at all. That one game I watched Chester that showed good sides and played well. I don't actually think he's... But if he's bad, I don't really know why the Blues would pick him up. Obviously, he's talented, but I think he'll be all right. But what's his role? What would he actually bring to the Blues? The club is very optimistic about the future of Campbell Chesser at Carlton, overcoming an ankle injury late last year. So he had a good end to 2025. With explosive speed and endurance, his outside run is a clear standout in this game, with the ability to quickly transition to both ends of the ground. All traits Yeah, I mean, that is something that the freaking Blues definitely need. So I can see why they actually brought him in. We think he'll have a lot to learn from our established midfield group led by our ladies and we'll seeing him take. So are we locking in that he make? So are we saying if we had to say best 22, is Chesser a best 22 at the Blues currently as it stands? The more yeses or the more nos, I'll just go off the chat. I'm gonna go off the chat with this. And fair enough, if not many people actually would know, just what would you say based on what we've just had a look at? And if no, explain why and who makes the midfield over him. Like, let's say best 22, actually best 23. I'm gonna say yes, but then we need to actually have a look. I just feel like there might be an injury because, okay, best 23. If we're talking about everyone being fully fit, maybe not actually. Now I think about it, but I reckon there'll be an injury or two, and he'll slot in a spot because I assume Jagger Smith will probably get a game over him, given he's going to be ready for 2026. He'll probably be on the bench. Yeah, I was thinking that bench or maybe just fighting for contention, but I'd say he probably does. So, I mean, he's what they need, the Blues. So, I think he's the best get that the Blues got. Ben Ainsworth, I want to look at as well. I feel like for certain Suns players in general, like I don't know a massive deal of it, Ainsworth as a player because I don't really watch a lot of Gold Coast, and when I do, I don't notice a lot of Ben Ainsworth. Let's have a, but he's been around. He's been around for a while. Chesser has only had 120 disposal game. Well, clearly he hasn't been playing midfield every game then. Carlton has landed Gold Coast small for Ben Ainsworth or Corey. Oh, right, yes. Yeah, okay. So it's a bit of a straight swap then one small forward out for the other. What are his strengths? Anyone know a little bit more than I do about Ainsworth? What are his key strengths? And does he start in Carlton's best 23? I'd say definitely would. In fact, I'd probably say he's probably a better selection over Chesser. Powerful, goal sneak, and just creating goal chances. Ainsworth and link up small forward, easy best 23. Yeah, I kind of forgot about Ainsworth in a way. Like, I obviously know, but I kind of forgot his value. So, yeah, he's a best 23. We can go through them all, actually. Corey Durden for Port Adelaide. I mean, what were Corey Durden's numbers this year? And what other fans? Like, I actually kind of want to go on the Carlton Instagram and see what the fans have to say, because that's normally where you get the best read of it all, with what the actual fans of the club think. So I assume just go on the AFL Instagram and let's just go. Actually, no, we'll go on the Carlton's Instagram. And I always feel a little bit fucking nervous, and I'm gonna click on the wrong thing whenever I'm on Instagram, but okay, looks like, yeah. I was thinking this was gonna be the general reception in the comments, but it looks like most fans would have wanted him to stay. Should have traded Motlop. Yeah, okay. Motlop's still the player that they fucking give so much shit to. Why is someone saying 19? Yeah, I mean, look, Brandon Starcevic, if you really want to look, Brandon Starcevic, he is a straight slot in for the West Coast best 20. In all honesty, most players on the radar would probably go into their best team. But yeah, Starcevic, what was the trade in the end? It was like a 3-way trade. What did West Coast give up? Wait, what did West Coast give up? I've got this one a bit wrong. Doesn't actually make sense when you look at that. How can Brisbane give and also give Starcevic and also no, that must mean West Coast actually. I reckon West Coast were the ones that did that. That'd make a bit more sense. Durden is the McKenty replacement. Is he gone? Did McKenty get delisted? Jeez, don't freaking tell Zay that. I mean, obviously he knows. Who are the Cats going to get? Says Gaming Wizard. Who do you want to get? I mean, I actually think they're going to get no one. Honestly, unless something random happens out of the blue, I don't think they're getting anyone anymore. They could have gotten... Well, I thought they were definitely getting Marshall a couple of days ago, but... I really don't know, mate, to be honest. Motlop is so bad. Well, I think he makes a lot of mistakes, and he probably doesn't get nearly enough output as what a small forward should get. But the times I watch him play, he's not actually as shit as I feel like he gets given. What were his output though? Like Corey Durden in 20, because I feel like with the Blues it's weird, but every time a small forward has a solid year, they get traded away the next year for Carlton. I mean, obviously in past years, Jeff Garlett, he got traded away. Eddie Betts got traded away. More recently, Matt Owies, now Durden. What's with that fucking trend? So 14 goals, 16. Yeah, I didn't think he'd be averaging more than a goal a game. Tackle pressure's okay. Look, stats wise, it's nothing amazing. Only 6 goal assists. What would a Corey Durden bring to Port Adelaide? Yeah, like Matt Owies. Yeah, but Matt Owies, geez, he's been disappointing for the Eagles. That whole trade was a mess, to be honest. What other possible trades we can write down? Holy shit, this is confusing. 2026 Jesse Mollop will be traded out of nowhere, mark my words. Yeah, but then they'll run out of small forwards, the Blues. Maybe that's a good thing, though. There are rarely, like, pretty good small forwards on the market, but I feel like Liam Ryan would have been someone the Blues certainly would have taken. So he's probably the best in the market this off-season. And we got him. So I'm happy. I mean, Humphrey would be better, but he's not going anywhere. He's not going to Melbourne. So, I mean, I could put that... No, Petrarch's not a small forward. He's a medium forward midfielder. He's not a small forward. What are Petrarca's midfield minutes going to be next year? Like, is he going to play more on the forward or more mid? What actually will Damien Hardwick want? Because I probably would say he does play more forward. That's probably what we're all thinking, isn't it? What were his midfield minutes? I don't know if he fucking there's a way to check. Is there a way to check midfield minutes for particular players? Like for 2025, for example. North have interest in Lee Kalia. Yeah, I did see that. Why am I getting this? Hold up. I did see that. I'll read into that. Blind Ryan's a little star. Yeah, he'll be good. Create excitement, create chaos in the forward line. He's a good aerial player as well. So for a small, let's see. North could. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to North. He probably would get more opportunity at North Melbourne. I mean, North are another team that don't North Melbourne also need defensive talent? Why have North not made a player for anyone this off season? I mean, I feel like they're just going to be stuck in the same spot as they were in years previously. They're not going to really get any better if they just continue hoping that the talent that they bring in develops, because it seems like it just hasn't been developing as quickly as it should. So I would think they should do that, but let's see what this article says. Leak is shattered, incredibly disappointed. Fair. I mean, that's fair, but that's sort of footy, isn't it? Like, it was never a guarantee, but he probably thought it was a guarantee. And it's not like he's never going to play AFL again. He's going to be taken by probably another team, and looks like North Melbourne. But yeah, he probably wanted it. There's a reason he wanted to play for St Kilda. But I wonder if it was just the money. Probably just the money and the longer contract, to be honest, and more opportunity. He would have had more opportunity at the Saints and the Giants. North have been, North have been, but like Saints of previous years, they can't get anyone to come. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously the Saints have thrown heaps of money to big name players, and we haven't really had that where it's actually eventuated, but finally this feels like it has eventuated. Like, we have players that want to play for St Kilda over other teams. Like, Fort Flanders, for example. Flanders nominated St Kilda over Essendon and other clubs, but Essendon offered like couple $100,000 more. Channel 7 commentator said, Cancon said, the Saints backflip on the wrong guys, thinking they should have pulled out of DeConing's. Yeah, of course Cancon's going to say that. Everyone's going to say that they overpaid DeConing, but if he ends up like winning bloody best, he won't. But if he ends up an All-Australian ruck next year, then they wouldn't say that, would they? This is the most drastic backflip I've ever seen. They've backflipped on the wrong guy. If they backflipped on anyone, it should have been DeConing. Aaliyah is certainly worth the investment because it wasn't a big investment. Well, it was a mild investment. As a player is in 2 or 3 years could be. I think he'll be. I think we probably should have still stuck with Aaliyah. I think we'll probably regret it, but I mean, I'm not saying it's the biggest worry. Ultimately, also, what do we think? I know this is completely unrelated, but what do we think of this fucking Bailey Smith shit? I think he needs to cool off his head and get off his phone for a little bit. Like, seriously. Yeah, I just think he's completely kind of lost the chops a little bit with the stuff he's been posting. Like, he's been posting too much wild shit. Tom DeConing isn't as good as people think. I think he'll flourish under the Saints, to be honest. But hey, obviously, I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say. I'm going to sit here and say, yeah, no, DeConing's going to be a shit recruit, and he won't have an impact. So yeah, it'll be exciting. He's an idiot. Yeah. What else are other people saying about that? Those that actually know what's going on, because he obviously has been under a lot of backlash and off-field issues and all that, and I think he blamed it on his mental health, but he's been really ramping up as of late. Like, all of his Instagram stories have been like worse and worse. It's not helping him. It's not helping Geelong. And maybe that's why the Bulldogs wanted to let him go. How are you going to manage TDK and Marshall on the same side? I think it's probably just going to be Marshall mainly plays forward. Most likely. You'd think you'd bring TDK in and he'd probably be the one mainly playing ruck. That makes sense. And then, you know, we have two really good. I know the two ruck, it didn't work for Melbourne, but it did work for us when we had Paddy Ryder. Mitch Brown, attention seeker. Yeah, he sort of plays that way a little bit, but I ultimately don't think he's hopefully not doing it for attention. That's the hope. Hopefully he's doing it for the greater good, which I think deep down he would have been. What is this? Costco shoppers say that fat burning patch. Geez, we've scrolled down a little bit too deep here. And we are losing Took. Who's Took? Oh, what, TDK? Yeah, I mean, you have Pitney and all that, but he just needs to get off the coke and make some better decisions. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's good that he's got a personality and all that, but I think that you draw a line when you know, saying you want to have, like, the semen emoji on Caroline Wilson was pretty bad. Like, normally I'm not on Cara's side with a lot of things, but that time I'm like, you know, yeah, that was pretty bad. Like, no one would want that, especially if they don't have the consent. I had a fair amount of respect for Smith, and the last couple of weeks I've lost a bit of it. I know there'll be Cats fans that say, fuck you, mate. Smith is a star. But you probably shouldn't be condoning this sort of behaviour. It's not a good look. And yeah, I don't know. It just could keep escalating if the Cats don't maybe put a stop to it, or the AFL. I don't know. I don't mind it when a player has a bit of that because it's shit when all the players are NPCs. But yeah, I get that. That's good for the game and all that. But I think he's maybe a little bit too obsessed with the attention. A little bit, it seems that way. Or he's just a buffhead. Probably that as well. Star on the field, off the field's a different story. Apparently, apparently he's a really good guy. I've been told, but you can say with a lot of players, like there are players like Harley Reid. A lot of people I know, and there's not that many actually. A few people I know think he's a cunt or a really shit guy off the field. All about himself, arrogant. And then there are other people that think he's great, like the people that have clubbed with him as of late. So, I mean, I'm not going to make a judgment until I get to know, but I can understand that. My sister, I can't talk heaps about this. My sister went on a recent trip to New Zealand. She met a bunch of Bulldogs players, and apparently they weren't necessarily the nicest. I might be wrong on that though, actually. But do I tell the full story on stream? Probably not. But you know that they do act bigger in their own shoes when you're an AFL player. Like you just sort of have a bit more of an ego and more of a sense of arrogance. I hate Harley Reid. Oh my, yeah, I don't like Harley Reid that much, to be honest. I think Nick Dacos, in terms of plays, he's a much more respectable sort of guy. I've been told Will Ashcroft is a bit of a prick off the field. Yeah, well, I just feel like you honestly almost just have the expectation that if you are a superstar, you're probably an arrogant prick. You're almost sort of surprised that if you meet one of those players that they're not an arrogant prick. You feel that way. No one's saying you're going to get rid of Bailey Smith. I don't know why anyone's saying that. Oh, Adam Cooney said he would not be surprised if the Cats get rid of him. I can almost tend to agree in a way if it really screws him over. Because think about it with Jamara and all that. Like he's obviously it's not going to get to that stage, but Jamara was a top 1 pick and he's no longer wanted by anyone except for the Suns. So yeah, no, I can see where you're coming from. Let's play a game, actually. Chat, I'm currently on 10k followers. Will I still be on 10k followers by the time I get on the plane tomorrow to Malaysia? Or will I lose a few? Because I'll probably post something tomorrow. So hopefully a post can get me over the line. No, yes, yes. All right. Hold up. I'm not going to do a wager here because I'm not going to get... There's no gain. I'm actually not going to gain shit. So I'm not wagering like a punishment or $100 to anyone. But 10 to 1. What is 10 to 1? Of yes or of no? Fucking gotta stop doing that. All it takes is one post to sort of blow up and then you're safe. You just need to get the 0.1. I don't know if I can actually see the full amount, but I reckon I'm like just like 10,000 maybe in one. So if I lose even 2 or 3, then I'll go back under. And given it's the off season, it's a chance that happens, to be honest, because you know people don't care as much. It's the off season's never the funnest, but the off season will be pretty good, I reckon. 10.1k isn't going to happen realistically. I'm not going to get 100 followers just like that. That doesn't happen. No, it won't happen tomorrow. All right, let's see. Jack Silva. So do we think Jack Silvani will be best 23 for the Saints? Yes, I think he will. And do we think De Koning will be best 23? Yes, I think he will as well. Film any content while you're overseas, or you're just going to take time to relax? Well, I kind of already did that. Yes, not yet. Well, more last week. Last week I spent almost the whole week just kind of doing fuck all. Well, not just doing fuck all, but if I was a bit more logical, I probably should have just decided, you know what? Why don't I just keep up the pace that I'm at, and then when I go away, then I can sort of level it down. But I'm probably not going to be doing that as much. Because it's a family holiday, I can afford to spend more time on that a little bit. Because again, I'm not going to be going out every night getting wasted. And if I'm getting wasted every night when I'm on a holiday, I thought I was a possibility of being able to edit on a hangover or whatever. There's no chance when you're with mates. That's what happened with Bali early. Harry Boyd to Freo. I'd look into that. All right, Harry. Okay, Jai Simkin. We also put Collingwood. They scored a goal for the match with 7 seconds to go. Really? Jesus Christ, that's still very sad. I mean, I would have assumed that they'd never have had a game where they've been goalless, and I think it's happened before in the AFLW. Will Brodie. Yeah, Will Brodie to Port, isn't it? I really don't know much with, like, I don't know how that's gonna help the Power that much. He's not really gonna be much value given he's done nothing for free. I know he's had limited opportunity, but that gets done for cheap. To be honest, what are the thoughts on Brodie average? Yeah, so the Fiorini deal, what is the offer from the Bombers? Oh, is he Lockie? Probably makes sense then why he picked the Power. Looks like Essendon will use a future third or future fourth to pick future fourth round pick to land Fiorini through a trade rather than get him as a free agent. Oh, that's right. He's a free agent. I forgot about that. Well, that's just going to work. You can just do that. Surely he's worth more than that. Get Thai people to... See, I could do that, but I just don't really want to go out of my way and organize something like that in such short time. And I think it's going to be difficult as well. Like, the good thing about when I did it in America, and I'm still pissed I lost that footage, by the way, because it wasn't like I had the idea, but I didn't eventuate to filming. I filmed the whole fucking video. I just didn't edit the fucking thing, and I lost the footage. I'd expect Harry Boyd to come to Freo after the trade of Liam. Yeah, but why bother? I just don't see the point of the initial deal. Why would you bother bringing, like, trading out one of those sort of ruckmen when you're just going to be bringing in another ruckman regardless? Harry Boyd, he obviously used to play for the Saints, and he's played one game, so he's obviously going to be there, probably not playing. He's just going to be clogging the list as a ruckman that will only go in if there's probably only go in if Darcy or Jackson are both out. There's no way he plays if both are playing. Or they could just do what I said on Freo Faithful, and they could just straight swap Harry Boyd for Luke Jackson, and I'll take that. How do three-way trades work? Well, I don't know how they facilitate it because I'm not in the know-it-all behind the scenes with all the departments. But on what it is really, there's just 3 clubs get together, and for example, let's just go through some of the trades that were three-way. Actually, hold up. That's the way that's formatted is shit on my end. So I'm just gonna go on Instagram again. Give me a sec. LP Flight. I've mentioned you, but you're a wanker. There you go. No chance Douglas stays with. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so. And again, I wouldn't have thought the Saints should go after any more ruckmen. Given that we have Dodson as well, so we have 3 ruckmen now, and it made a lot of sense. Max Heath. We didn't really we mentioned very little of Max Heath, but pretty much Max Heath, who's played 3 or 4 games for us. I liked him. He was still developing, but I think he'll play a bit for Melbourne next year. I think he'll play maybe 5+. But we gave him up for fuck all. Like, that is genuinely the definition of AFL, especially if 2020. We get that. Sorry, but still, that's a 4th rounder, and that's in 2 years. That's actually the first future. Interestingly enough, here I am wanting someone else to actually knows how to kick a footy to kick it back. What's this? You dodged a bullet with a horrible defender, cost us so many goals. A lot of people are saying that we dodged a bullet. But Kane Corns doesn't agree, and I don't fully agree with that. Maybe I don't watch much of Giants games, and I actually know I watch some Giants games. And I know he concedes goals and all that, but I feel like he will continuously get better with more opportunity. That's the way I see it because he's got a lot of talent. But yes, he's probably one prone to make a lot of mistakes. But I don't know. He's not playing for us, so I don't have to worry. What was I going to say before? Is someone asked how a three-way trade works? It's relatively simple, but I'm just trying to find a three-way. What three-way trade have we seen so far? I mean, we saw this one. There's a three-way trade. So someone was asking how it works. Well, essentially, just all three parties get involved. So, for example, if a deal can't get done with one club, possibly another club would get involved, give them something that they want to facilitate another trade, if that made any sense. So, for this one, Port Adelaide get a second rounder through Carlton, and they get why am I forgetting that guy's name? Corey Durden. And they give Gold Coast pick 29. And then the pick 29 is through Ainsworth. That makes sense. So it's like a cycle. So four-way trades have happened. I don't know if any five-way trades have ever happened. I heavily doubt it. I'm glad he left because we have so many other and better defenders. I mean, fuck. I almost feel like this is unwarranted shit. Is he really that average, Lee Kalia? When there are other clubs wanting him, like I saw the big footy page for Collingwood, and Collingwood were all over, not all over, but they were possibly wanting to get him. They were actually on board. I hopefully that helped. I don't reckon I explained that well at all, but there you go. That got 60,000 views in a day. Is that really fucking that many? That is a lot for an article for AFL. GWS's Lee Kalia is still up for grabs after... Yeah, obviously still up for grabs. That's like saying... Well, not as much, but it's like saying... What's a good... I can't even think of a good comparison there, but obviously still up for fucking grabs. However, it is understood that the Saints and the Giants couldn't settle on a deal. Oh, yeah. Was that the actual reason, though? Or was it because they found out something? Like just something last minute? Or was it just because I couldn't find a deal? Because surely they could still make a play for a deal. They still could. That doesn't make sense to me. They could still get a deal if it's picks. Baz, you don't have to say that again when you can't even spell his name correctly. Well, I'll show you this because you clearly haven't seen this. So, Baz, if you're watching, first of all, go and get stuff because you're just annoying. And secondly, it looks very likely that he's not going to the Cats, so you can stay fucking well kept with a bloody Reece Stanley who's going to retire and Mitch Nevitt who probably won't do much. What's this article saying? I haven't read this one. As St Kilda continues to hold firm on keeping Marshall off-season, questions have been... Yeah, obviously. Which they will. They'll have to, right? They're not going to not play both because Marshall's not going to want to play footy and not actually be in the team, given he's been one of our best players over the last 6 years, despite being contracted to the Saints until the end of 2027. Yeah, so if he wasn't contracted, that would have probably made the situation a lot different, to be honest. Why should Rowan Marshall stay? Because he probably sees something that many other players see in the Saints. And I don't know, maybe he's just he doesn't want to leave that culture of St Kilda. Maybe he sees still a good role for him. Maybe he's open to wanting to play a little bit forward as well. Like, you don't know behind the scenes. And I'm pretty sure he said, I don't know if he did say this, but I'm pretty sure he said he's fine if he ends up playing at the Saints. He just requested a trade to the Cats. Because if you're in that situation, fair enough. And look at that. Geelong... But couldn't the Cats still get Marshall if the Kerno deal doesn't end up happening? Because I don't think it will. Like, why have they pulled the plug? That's what I actually don't know. Baz, is it Collins supporter with that spelling? He's an idiot. Should have been. Like, he's an idiot. That's what he is. If you're not going to join the stream and make any sense and contribute, then I don't want you on the stream. We've never been out of pursuit. It's just what a deal would look like. Cleary, we had... Oh, Clear. I thought that was Mitch Cleary. That's why I was thinking if there was possibilities that the Saints want... Nah, but I don't think we're going to go for another player if we're keeping Marshall. That's the thing. What is the... Oh, let's see. What is Ben Dixon's best 26?
Hey, brother. How's it going?
How'd you go? This job hunt's really doing my head in.
We'll see. We'll see. If
Man,
Andrew Mackey reckons,
stoked
we'll
you,
see.
mate.
Maybe something might happen. But if that's the case, Sam Edmonds.
But let's talk about the Saints.
He was so adamant that wasn't the case. But you can never listen. You can never really
You've come
trust
in,
anyone
you're trying to
anymore.
ruffle the feathers, you're going to load, you've spent all the money. Well, since Ross has been there
Because I actually want
3
to
years, so
see
it
if
has to
I
go in
can
one
agree with
direction,
this.
load it up. So when you go and we...
That's not a bad team at all. That is not a bad team. So we've got fullback. We've got Taru. Oh, yeah. When I never mentioned Silvani or Stocker when we were talking about defenders, nor did I mention Sinclair. Now, Sinclair's not a Lee Kalir type player, but he's obviously still probably not the best, but would we all agree that Sinclair's a top 5 halfback in the league, like running halfback sort of player? Without being a bias twat. No. Who's your 5 then? Will? Sinclair, Wilkie, Clark, Wilson, Winhager, Hill, Hall, Sharman, right. So that forward line doesn't look so bad. It's still a little bit thin, but if King plays, and then you got Ryan there as well, it's pretty good. DeConing, Flanders, Wangland, Millerer. That is pretty good. Winhager in there. Philippou, McRae, Travail. Yeah, nah. So that I probably agree with majority of that. I probably have Boxland over Garcia and maybe Howard in. Or maybe Caminitian over. Well, I don't know. That's a pretty strong... I probably actually don't mind that. And Clark probably does stay there. So yeah. Unless there's a player I'm forgetting. Someone says, does Naz count? As what? What do you mean? Does he? No, he doesn't anymore. He's a midfielder, so I wouldn't count him in that conversation as one of those running halfbacks. Marshall not pick. Oh, well, actually, this probably would have been before. I think this would have been knowing or assuming Marshall plays in the... Oh, that's right. I forgot about him. I just assumed this would have been assuming he plays for the Cats next year. So if he stays, then he probably gets a spot over... Who the fuck would I put him up? Like, who would I pick over him? Because it feels stiff having... I don't think Sharman would go out of the squad. Maybe Owens. But can he really have 3 tall... I actually don't know. Honestly, I think you're pretty... Yeah. When opposition fans are saying that you feel a little bit more optimistic. This is my 5. Dale, Clark, Bailey. Oh, not Bailey. Yeah, Dale, Clark, Blakey, Zorko, Whitfield. You don't have Sinclair there. No, that's all right. I mean, there's still 5 elite halfbacks, so I'm not going to be too disappointed with that. Maybe Garcia and play one of the mids. Well, we have Garcia, Travalia, and yeah, it's probably too heavy. Yeah, I probably would agree with that, actually, over Owens, because we probably don't need to have that many sort of midfielders in the interchange spot. as much as that, because there are honestly all 5 players in the interchange are midfielders. Philippou midfielder, McRae midfielder, Travalia. Well, he probably wouldn't play midfield, half back, I guess, but he's similar to one of those. There were no forwards. That's what I'm saying. Wood's a winger. Garcia's a midfielder. See, I probably would have him over maybe a Garcia, actually. Or maybe Travalia still. He hasn't been as proven, but you want to keep getting games into Travalia, I would say. To be honest, you've got to. Let's say, do I entertain the idea of a StreamYard, or will we not have enough people? Because I don't know if there's any need. Maybe in 20 odd minutes we'll do something like that. How long have we been going live for? Hour and 30. So yeah, 2 hours or so wouldn't be too bad. I haven't hated the stream. I've actually enjoyed this stream more than a lot of others, even if the views have been on the lower end of what they could have been. Should I do a deadline day stream then? Probably will do one, but based so far from how this is done, do I do a? I think I will though. All right. Will Warple? You're a Geelong fan, Baz. Let's actually get some contributions out of you, mate. Is Warple a best 23 player for your team? Draper would be. Jacob Ware, surely. I wouldn't think. No, I wouldn't think. Liam Reddy wouldn't. Roses. Is AL still watching? Because obviously he's going to know a little bit more than I would straight off the bat. Maybe a maybe. Probably not. Judd McVee, yes. Flanders, yes. So you're saying Warple, yes. I just wanted. I'm happy with that. I know I don't think so, but we are stacked. Well, you're not. I actually don't think you're that stacked, to be honest. Yes, you've got Holmes and Smith, but then it becomes a bit thinner. So a Warple actually probably does bring you a little bit more. To be honest, what was Geelong's grand final team looking like? We just running. Yeah, but you can't be all one-dimensional with midfielders. Do you think Jai Simpkins is going to leave? I would probably say no. Because originally it wasn't Collingwood that were after Simpkin. It was Essendon. But I don't know if that's happening anymore. I think Essendon might just be satisfied with Fiorini. Atkins and Mullen. Oh yeah, I always forget about them. They're not the first names that come to mind. Mullen, yeah, you play Mullen. He's been an elite tagger for them. Myers, Holmes, Jai Clark, and got Bose. So he could probably come in for one of those players. And you think about it in an ideal scenario, but there'll be injuries anyway. So as long as Warple isn't a player that's injured, he probably plays over someone else. Do you think Merritt gets done? If it gets done, I can't see a world where the Bombers are going to be satisfied out of it, to be honest. That's why I don't think it gets done. Cats should get Goldstein. Why would the Cats get Goldstein? That's just be... I mean, he's someone who I'm semi-surprised didn't get a contract extension. I thought he maybe would have gotten one more year. I don't know if anyone else agrees on that, but I thought he battled well. Maybe it was his decision, but if he wants to... Did Goldstein say that he wanted to play on, or did he sort of... Well, obviously he's too old. He's 36 or some shit. If he wants to play on, he's the sort of player that could probably get another contract offer, because ruckman are those sort of players that are obviously really important. All clubs need ruckman. But who would honestly take him? Who could honestly take him at 37? Oh, Nick Valeria. I wouldn't mind using Goldstein for at least a year. Carlton do. Nah, you got Liam Reedy, Nick. Collingwood does fit the age demographic. He's crazy. Yeah, if Essendon are delisting, then you think he'd probably be done. I don't think there'll be any team pursuing him, to be honest, at all. But I'm just thinking of all type of players, and Ruckman maybe. Slow as a wet week. So who are Essendon's Ruckman now? Vicentini? Like the only freaking player I can think of. Who is Essendon's number one Ruckman? Nick Bryan. Oh, yeah. He was injured, though. I completely forgot about him. But, yeah, it's Bryan and then it's fucking Vicentini. It's not... It really isn't great. Where can I just look at Essendon's... Who wins it next year? I'm going to go Brisbane, mate. I mean, obvious answer, but I think when a team wins a two-peat, the chance of them going on to win a three-peat are significantly higher than what they would have been if they were to go on to win two in a row. Like, once you've won two in a row, to win a third, I think the chances go up a little bit more, because we saw it with Brisbane in 2003 and Hawthorn in 2015. And I haven't really seen many two-peats. So it wouldn't shock me at all if they do that. Why is this so zoomed out? I don't even think this is the right fucking article that I just clicked a random article here. Ruckman. It doesn't actually tell you, but it's just a Nick Bryan. But like, he's played 23 games. At almost every other club, he wouldn't be the number one ruck. He'd probably be one of the worst number one rucks now if he's their number one. Blackiston. He's not a freaking ruckman, mate. Blackiston. Oh, he actually ended up getting a second contract offer. Oh no, I did read about that, and he probably deserved one. Sort by height. Yeah, Vigo Vicentini. Oh, you're talking about the other Blackiston. I thought you were talking about... Okay, never mind then. Or am I just an idiot? Was it Blackiston's a defender, isn't he? I don't think he's playing ruckman. But I didn't know it was that tall, though. I didn't think he was that tall. Need any Geelong news? What am my needed news? Like, it's like I'm in desperate need of news. I'm just going through what I'm getting told and what people are saying and what I'm reading. Like, do you have Geelong news? Peter Ruck for second ruck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I rate Peter Ruck as a second ruck, to be honest. But, I mean, I guess he was doing that a lot of 2025. I think they probably should pursue another one, to be honest with you, if I'm messing them. But they're not. I don't know what Essendon are doing. I don't really know what else they're doing. Geelong need Marshall bad, and they're not going to get freaking Marshall, probably. But, again, I actually do tend to lean more on the side that he might not be completely no chance of leaving. I didn't know Blackerson was that tall at all. We can't go another year with Stanley. Well, you are. I thought the writing was on the wall for him after the bloody grand final when apparently they already made the decision that he was going to be playing on before the grand final. But, like, fuck me. I really don't know about Reece Stanley. Should I do a StreamYard? If I do a StreamYard, I'll probably just let the person who I get on do most of the talking because I haven't really got a line of questions lined up. Yeah, we can. I'll get you on if you want. Like, really, I was probably going to consider wrapping it up soon. I think I've done most of what I've wanted to. I think I just got to get back into, like, consistently streaming to get a few more viewers in, especially for trade period content. I haven't really done much apart from one video. And you know, it pisses me off a lot because I put fucking heaps of time and effort into videos. And I feel like the longer I go without posting, the more screwed over I am in terms of relevancy and just I get forgotten. Every single day this week I've been working on content and I've only posted once this week. It's not because I've been doing nothing. People that say that piss me off. All right, anyways, I'll bring it up. Yeah, but average's StreamYard, I bet you has no merit to it at all. It's just a fucking random StreamYard where people join and just chat rubbish, and it's always going to be like 10-year-olds. Like it will always just be 10-year-olds. All right, let's bring up one of those then. It also anyone can join if they want to. Genuinely, if they want to chat mainly anything to do with the trade period. If there's got anyone in particular they want to talk about, if they've got a question, I mean, I might not give you the best answer, but feel free. I'm open. And if this does all right, I'll go for another hour or so. Why do I have to pay for fucking I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here. Actually, this would be hilarious, but I'm going to stream on the Kicking Goals with Nick YouTube channel right now. And we're not going to tell him, just as a bit of a joke. All right, what should we make the title? I forgot that I had the option to stream on any of these destinations, and I don't know why I've got Nick's channel, but I think this might actually work. All right, give me a title. And then we can stream through Nick's channel, but this will be on our channel. No, I won't be too harsh. Chat with me. I am desperately lonely. This might not work though, but if it actually works, I'll be quite surprised. I'm not surprised because it's happened before. We'll see if it actually works. If I just start this stream, I'm not going to have a camera, but I'm going to have a mic. Actually, should I set my camera on? Yeah. By the way, I'm not just doing this to piss Nick off. It is funny, but it also is. Oh, okay. All right. This is an annoying thing. I can't. Can I use this camera? Oh, I can use this camera. All right. So you can see me. All right. Let's see if this works. It does. All right. We'll see how long it takes before he realizes, then we'll just end it. But it's sort of funny, actually. Welcome to the Nick channel. Daddy has many on. All right. I'll send the link. We're not obviously I'm not going to be a dickhead because I'm streaming on my channel as well, so I can't be a dickhead. But here's the link. Average removed his StreamYard for those wondering. I actually didn't know I could still do that, to be honest. All right, I'm going to go back to... Well, I'll just wait for people to join. We'll do the stream out for a little bit then. And see how long it takes for someone of Nick's quality. I'm going to have to put his stream up. If anyone actually is on it, like... I can't vote for anything past 5th best on the top 15 games vote. Yeah, no, that's it. Just do the top 5. It's more for the top 15 will be the overall selections that I do, but you can vote. You can vote top 5. Just do that. All right, well, Chappie, I put the link in. For the time being, I'm just going to continue talking about some other trades. So just we'll go through this spreadsheet here. What are other names that we haven't actually written down yet? So we did Arch. Oh, we got someone in. Wait. I actually wait a little bit. And he's left anyway, so it's no surprise at all. Are we going to see a busier deadline day than we saw in 2024? Because in 2024, I think there were like 12 deals. Like, it all came to the last 5 minutes. It was a lot more entertaining than the year before that. I know the 2021 trade period was really, really quiet. For those that are on Nick's stream currently, I will end when he finds out, but I just randomly had the option of stream on his channel, and I thought it'd be sort of funny. Clearly not going to do anything dumb, because I also am streaming on the main channel. Oh, we'll get Chappy in then. We'll get Chappy in. We need something. Chat's a bit dry. Maybe it's a Friday night and people are partying, and I almost feel like, I don't know, but I feel like the trend of people going out is starting to die a little bit because of how fucking costly it is. I'm not gonna lie.
G'day.
G'day.
I've got headphones now.
Sick. Yeah, that's good though, because last time I think I got you on, I could like hear you like 3 times.
It was shocking.
I'll get you on the screen. The only problem with streaming via Nick's channel, you're not gonna see my chat. You're gonna see his chat, and his chat's not really gonna help anything.
Are you actually streaming on Nick's?
Yeah, look at his channel.
Oh,
He'll get angry.
He'll crack the absolute shits at you.
I know he will, because I'm pretty sure I did this before and he got really pissed. But the thing is, right, I have the option to do it, so he could always just take it away. And I'm not doing anything, I'm just talking. I think I can hear you in the background though. I don't know if I can hear myself twice.
Surely not, I've got headphones on.
I can still hear myself echo slightly.
I'll turn it down a bit.
Yeah, Sport's not saying echo.
How?
It must be coming through your headphones, like just slightly.
Let me turn it down.
If you turn it down a bit more, I'm sure it'll work. Oh,
yeah,
I think that's fine.
I'll turn it down.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, what do you want to talk?
I had it full volume.
Yeah, that's probably why. I mean, I've done that before. I've done a video with someone else, and we did it through a call, and I had literally the headphones on max. I didn't think it'd make an echo, but it fucked up the audio for the video, but it didn't affect me that much because it was a Sammy GFC video, so it was all good. End of the day, it all worked out.
His fucking comment on that Instagram post was diabolical.
Was that in reference to anything that you posted, or was that genuinely just...
No, that's just Sammy being Sammy.
I actually can't remember, Jesse. It would have been when he used to play Fall Guys on like my account or whatever. It literally would have been then. For those that are, I'm gonna put the stream ad link in the chat. But just rest assured, you'll be on the Let's Chat with Nick YouTube channel as well. So I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna replace the other. You can join, but we would want to focus the attention on the trade period so far and all of that stuff. So, Chappy, what did you say? What did you want to talk about?
Oh, I'm just...
what are your emotions as a Cats fan?
Oh, well, I got over the last game of the year pretty quickly.
Okay. We'll go back to the grand final. You know what? I never asked you your emotions after the game. What is happening with for the diehard fans? What is happening to the Ripper and Fibber video? Because I don't think it's been released yet. Is that still on the cards?
No, it hasn't been released yet. No, it hasn't been released yet. Jake's, we're putting a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, I assume that was probably the reason, and that's probably because of the last episode, last video. Yep. G'day, Cooper. G'day, Sony.
So we had the grand final. That was shit. To be honest, that was really bad.
Yep.
I got over that pretty quickly though, because I realised Brisbane are a pretty good team. Like no one would probably would have beating them that day.
Yeah, I agree. That second
It
half
is
was
what it
just
is. At least I've
crazy.
seen a grand final. Not everyone gets to see grand finals, so I'll take it. But so we got over that, and then all this talk about getting Rowan Marshall, beautiful, getting a ruckman. That's what we need. Because I don't want to talk too badly about a player, but
Were you
yeah, we need
surprised
a
that he
ruckman.
got a contract extension?
Yes.
Like actually surprised. So if it wasn't him, so who's the? It's Blixavs. Is he also next? Is he? How often is he ruck?
I prefer him over Stanley.
But I feel like with
I actually
him,
prefer
I
it.
feel like with Blix, you'd rather him play in other spots of the ground. But he's also a better ruckman than Stanley, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's really, really versatile.
That's
And that
exactly
was
right.
one of our issues. That was one of our issues in the grand final because we played him in a different position. He was completely lost because he had no idea what he was supposed to do.
Yep.
That didn't help. But yeah, I was a bit surprised that Stanley got a contract extension. I was expecting him to hang up the boots, but
Well, apparently it was already solidified before the game, so they were just going to delay the announcement. So he'll
I guess
probably,
it does kind of make sense.
yeah. In terms of having someone to, but he shouldn't be first priority. That's the thing.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
No, it's not, Jesse.
Not after what I saw.
Yeah. So
But he is a Geelong Premiership player though. Still, like he did play in the other one. I think he played in that one.
yeah, he played
2022.
2022. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he was actually pretty good at that point.
Well, he's always
But
been a
yeah,
B sort of tier ruckman. He's out of contract. Who? Who's out of contract? Not Marshall's still under contract, mate.
That's why we don't have him.
That's the
Because
main
he's under
reason.
contract.
Yeah, if he wasn't under contract, it'd be a lot of a different story. I'm sure the Cats would
I
much.
reckon they signed Stanley as a 1-year deal kind of thing because they were expecting to get Marshall.
Oh,
And
I
we
just
wanted him
think
as a bit of a backup.
I think regardless, he probably wouldn't really be getting many more. He doesn't warrant more than a year, if anything. Even if Marshall was out of the question.
He's
So,
very
anyways,
old.
is
Yeah.
there still a play? Do you reckon, or do you reckon it's completely done? Because you're focusing your attention on Curnow, and I mean everyone's saying that you probably shouldn't. Well, I mean he's there to be selected. Like he wants to play for you, so you may as well go for him. But I think Sydney's where he's going to, most likely, if not.
Do you remember I shed my opinions on Curnow in the group chat and I got flamed for it very hard, very quickly?
What did you say?
In the
I
chat
probably forgot.
during the week, I said that I don't want Curnow,
And who
and I
flamed you
got
for that?
flamed. Everyone. I got apparently. I'm like, oh, but like we don't need him, and then they're like, oh, but it's Charlie Curnow. But I just don't see how it works.
It would be odd. It would probably mean Jezza plays more up the ground, I reckon, because it wouldn't be something Curnow would do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you wouldn't.
And you wouldn't have
Neal up
Shannon
there.
Neal up there. But I don't think three keys will work as well as maybe some are suggesting.
It worked sort of for Adelaide, didn't it? In a way.
Well, what? Yeah, Thilthorpe, Fogarty, and Walker. But I think that especially given Curnow and Cameron are like Coleman medalists, like there's too much of an ego probably in the forward line for them both to be playing there. I reckon. I reckon they wouldn't. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but like if you have the picks for him, you may as well target him. Like you can't say no to Curnow, but I don't know if you're going to offer more than what you started with, which was 3 first rounders, I think. I think
that was I was at work when I saw that. I checked my phone and I'm like, I saw the notification. Cats have done like a bombshell trade, and I'm like, oh no, who have we given up? Because we're going to make some mistake here, give up some really good player, and he's going to go to Carlton and like tear it up. And it was 3 first round picks, and I'm like,
it'll have to be that and a player, which will probably be a player that you wouldn't want to lose. I don't think anyone
Well,
wants
they
to go
want
to
Brian
Carlton.
Myers. They want Brian
Well,
Myers.
any club would want Grant Myers, but you wouldn't give up? Would you give?
No,
You'd give
we're
up?
not giving up.
Would you give up Kerno for Myers, just a straight swap?
No.
See, most people wouldn't think that. Most people would do that in a heartbeat.
No.
But I can see why you wouldn't want to do that. Like he's invaluable to your team. I can see that.
Well, I think we've come out and we've said that we're not giving up a player.
And I don't think you will.
I think no. Well, then we probably won't get him.
Well, I don't think you're going to get
They
him.
want an A-grade player.
I think
return for an
it could
A-grade
be.
player.
Is Sydney giving up Hayward, chat? That's what I was hearing. I don't know if Hayward's A grade though, but like he would be helping the deal if there was him and
they were
like 3
throwing
first
Rowbottom's
rounders.
name out.
Yeah,
Rowbottom's name has been thrown out into the mix.
yeah. What trade is worth of a Pat Coupe? Someone says, nothing because I'm shit. What has been the biggest surprise so far? Would you say from the from like all the other
opinion.
just from the deals we've seen so far, like all the ones that I've got on the screen?
Oh, actually, I can't see him.
I could
I'm on the StreamYard.
I could
I'm
actually
on the-
present. I don't know.
Oh.
If, let's see if that'll actually work.
I've not done one of these in years. I've not. This brings back memories. The old StreamYards.
You weren't on any of the ones over the last couple of years that I hosted.
Oh, I think I joined one time when I was in.
Did you
Bali
join?
and
Did
I
you
was-
join the grand final one? I swear you did, for a little bit.
No, I don't think so. I joined one of them when I was in Bali, and you had Scoops in the call, and I was just giving shit to him.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know about scoops on calls. About that being the greatest idea. By the way, I might just end this on the Nick channel, to be honest, because I don't see any point. I think he's genuinely not going to know. I'm just going to end it. If you're watching on the Nick channel, jump on the Guardman channel, so I can actually show stuff on the screen without it screwing Nick over. All right, because it's going to show the whole screen. So, all right, I'll see if this works. Hold up.
So
Go.
This screen's.
Yeah.
This screen's still on.
Which screen is?
This one, they can still see us.
Well, yeah, they'll see you, but I'm just changing so they can't see the whole thing. But that's like what we've all the deals.
Oh, that's all the deals. Okay.
Yes.
The Coney.
Only problem is that you're going to be a lot smaller.
I didn't even know who Malcolm Rosas was.
He's not massively known, but I actually think he's alright. I think he's gonna slot into Sydney's team. Alright, they need players like that. He's got a bit of class. He just wouldn't fit in Gold Coast team, so it makes sense. Who are you, Abhinav Chavana? I swear you just always jump in at, I don't know, take the Mickey. Did you see Eagles offer to Dacos pick one? I refuse to believe why they would bother. Why would they fucking bother? Why would the Eagles bother doing that? They know it's not going to go their way. Maybe because they just don't have the picks.
They're doing all right. Carlton's doing all right. They're getting a few good players.
You reckon Liam Reedy's a good... Do you even know... I probably wouldn't even be surprised if you didn't know who he was. Do you know...
No.
Yeah, so he's he's played 3 games for Freo.
Oh.
And he's
No,
probably...
I'm talking about the bottom two. The bottom two.
Yeah, I like the Ainsworth pick, actually. Probably an upgrade on Durden. And then Chesser as well can slot onto that midfield. He gives them a bit of pace. So... Pretty solid, but... I still think they lose more than what they've gained overall. Especially if Curnow leaves. But even if Curnow leaves... Or he stays, I still think they lose more than what they gain.
Do you think if Suns don't get like Petrarca and all that, because they've lost a few here, do you reckon they'll still improve or
As a team,
where do you see them?
I think it'll only make them better, obviously, with Petrarca. They're not really... Ainsworth and Flanners, they aren't massively big outs given their sort of their role in the team like in 2025. and they're going to bring in Ugle Hagen. How do you reckon that'll go? Do you reckon he'll flop?
Oh, yeah.
Will he take himself seriously like he's saying, or is he just going to have another half-assed attempt of a, I don't know, off-season and it just doesn't end up happening? I honestly think Gold Coast finish top 4, even if they don't get Petrarca, but I think that's going to happen.
This will shock you. I actually watched a Gold Coast game this year.
Non-Geelong game?
And no, I didn't even watch the time they played us because I wasn't there.
You didn't watch the game. That's pretty shit. That's bad.
I was I had reasons. There was an actual valid reason. I had
debatable,
work and then I had something after work.
Debatable.
Well, when your cousin's in the hospital, I don't think it's debatable.
Oh, you just put it up on KO, mate, and KO works.
I had work during the first half, and then I got a call at work.
Yeah, don't you
hospital and then
don't they have TVs where you work?
Oh yeah, I caught glimpses of it, but it was busy.
Oh, you saw some of it.
I couldn't just stand there and watch the TV the whole time.
You could have let them know before the fixture went out that these are the times I'm not going to be working. I've got a dedication. You've signed a contract. I missed
quite a few games because of work this year, actually.
5. What Cats like home games?
No, well, there was a few in Melbourne that I missed. I was in Bali because of one of them. I didn't go to one of them because I was.
Did you miss the Collingwood game, or was that Jake? It might have been Jake.
No, we were both there for that.
Oh no, that was another year. It wasn't this year. It was I think it was last year.
Yeah, last year. That game wasn't that good though. That was probably worth missing. But this one.
Yeah. No, it wasn't great.
One.
No.
But what was I saying? Yeah, Gold Coast. I actually watched the Gold Coast game this year. I watched the final against Brisbane, and I watched two actually. I watched the final against Brisbane and the last game against Port when Ken Hinkley got the send off.
Yeah, I watched the second half of that. That was a solid game.
That was a good game. And they already have a pretty tall forward line, so I don't know how Jamara fits in.
They've got
they have a pretty
King.
Tall.
Well, they're just giving. Look, they're giving him a lifeline. Damien Hardwick knows what he's doing. We'll see what his output can be, but if he can get like 30 plus goals, I reckon that's definitely successful. But not everyone, but a lot of people don't know about it. He might not play again, even if he gets selected. Like if he gets picked up, he'll get picked up for cheap.
They've got King and they've got.
They've got Reid. They've got Reid and Waltz. Yeah, they've got enough stocks in that department.
No, I don't rate Reid.
He doesn't think anyone will, Josh. Josh reckons Geelong should do Shannon Neal with 2 first-round picks for Curnow. Well, why would they do that?
I'd rather just invest in Shannon Neal. He could be all right.
I would agree with it. I don't know if Neal will be the player Curnow has gotten to, but I don't think you'd do that at all.
Shannon Neal was like he's a once in a moon kind of player.
He doesn't want Curnow, Josh. And I know obviously the Cats want Curnow, but the Swans are just going to have better offers. I think
the Cats want Curnow, but they should listen to me and say he doesn't want him. So
I think Curnow
who gives
wants to play at the Cats more than the Cats want Curnow, personally.
Yeah, I'm getting vibes. We're kind of just like half-assing it a little bit. Like we're just like.
I don't think you really want him that much, because if he did, I reckon he would have thrown up. I know there's not much more you can offer, but you could have figured something else out, made a trade with another team to get better picks or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know if we really.
Jay Polkinghorn. AF says, where do I see
he's not bad.
Butters in 2027? I don't see him at the Power.
You don't see him at the Power?
Not after next year, when he's out of contract. I think will he be a free agent by then?
I thought he meant at the end of as in
No, 2027 he said. No, he'll be at Port unless something drastic happens, but they're not going to allow that to happen. McCready said this is just to get the dice rolling.
I don't think Zay Burnett will let it happen either.
Well,
Zabe,
what
no,
do you
would not
think
let
then,
that
Josh?
happen.
Because they're not going to off. They're not. What players do you realistically think they're going to just throw up? I heavily doubt Shannon Neal will be one, and
No.
I don't really think there are many others, to be honest, that if the Cats wanted to throw up, the Blues would entertain. Because they don't. 2 first rounders and not just a player, a good, like a solid starting 23 player, not just like a depth player or a Reece
So
Stanley.
you wouldn't. Yeah, well, yeah, they can take Reece Stanley.
Yeah, if you're saying a player,
But
so just Jack Henry.
no, I'd rather.
I don't think
I'd
the
rather them
Blues
have
would do it.
Ollie
I
Henry.
don't think the Blues would do that, honestly.
Would the Blues do the 3 first rounders and Ollie Henry?
Henry,
Ollie Henry doesn't really get much game time,
maybe.
but
If it was Dempsey, they probably would, I reckon.
That's a very different.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I know they're not going to do that though. We want the
No,
better
we would
brother.
never give up Dempsey.
To be fair with Dempsey, I mean Ollie Henry. I never thought he was shit. I just don't think he's getting a chance to play games in the side. Maybe he did have a. Do you disagree
I
with
have
that?
my opinions. I have my opinions.
He was good in 2023. I remember him being one of your better forwards, actually.
He almost won us a prelim last year.
Yeah, he did, and he like barely played this year. Do you think Marshall deal gets done?
No.
Someone said we were just discussing this. It looks likely that he stays at the Saints.
I reckon he'll be a Geelong player by the end of his career, but he just won't be a Geelong player next year. I reckon he'll come to the Cats at some point when he's 32 and
When does
breaking
his
down.
contract end? I'm gonna check real quick.
2 years, I think. 2 years.
It's 2027, I think. Yeah, so maybe by then. Oh shit! I actually shouldn't have done that. I'll leave that there. Yeah, maybe by then it'll be different. 2027 says. Oh, okay. I thought for whatever reason it was 2026. And you're black now, Jack.
Sorry, I was just checking something.
Okay. So if it's 2027, then perhaps by then, if the Cats are still pursuing him, that could happen. Probably be more likely to happen, but we'll see. Do you reckon you'll pick up a ruckman in the market before then, though? Like next year? Because if you're chasing someone by then that won't end up happening.
I'm very confused on what we're going to do with the whole ruck situation. I've got no clue what we're going to do now. Because if we can't get Marshall...
Just research it, Jesse. It looks likely that he's not going to go this year at least.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little bit confused. We're talking about rucks. What's his name? Max Heath.
Max Heath.
What happened there? 2027 fourth. Is he not?
Yeah, I would say he's worth more than that. I don't know why it was so low. Actually, if Jake's still watching, he perhaps might know a bit more about that. But I mean, he was probably fourth behind. So what are we? We have 5 ruck stocks at the moment. Well, we had 5. Well, we'd have 5 with DeConning. Dodson probably third, and then Harry Boyd probably doesn't. Probably goes to
I thought
Freo.
Harry Boyd got delisted. I thought Harry Boyd got delisted.
Well, he probably goes to Freo, and you're probably right. I actually can't remember who we delisted. I know. Fuck, I should have the information locked in, but sometimes I just. Oh wait, I can't really go off page. I won't see. I think he got delisted, but regardless, he's going to Freo, so it's like it probably made sense why the deal.
Heath.
Yeah, you probably could have used him. You probably could have used him more than Melbourne.
Yeah. I would have taken him.
Do you think
I think I remember.
What were you saying?
I think I remember watching him play, and he kicked a goal, didn't he?
Yeah. Was it Sydney he kicked? I think he kicked his first goal against Sydney.
He looked okay. He had a bit about him. I like his nickname.
The Moose.
Yeah. I don't mind that.
I think he ended up playing 4 games for us.
So you've got some solid players coming in. You actually might be all right.
Well, how do you think we'll fare next year? And do you think you guys
is
are
there
going
anyone
to...
else?
Well, we've got Flanders, Silvani, De Koning, and Ryan. All 4 players.
Is there anyone else you could be getting?
I mean, there were slight talks about Sam De Koning, but I heavily doubt that. I don't think we're going to get anyone else, but you never know. But if we're going to keep Marshall, it's going to reduce that chance. But you never know. We could still make a play. We've still got the money, so we might want to target another player. There's still a few more days to go.
Do you guys get better? I think you do.
Well,
I think you guys get better.
Looking at all what we've brought in and really what we... And another player we haven't really talked about is Jack Steele, who won't start in our team next year, but if he stays, he's just added depth. So it's a failure if we don't play finals next year. I reckon for sure.
Shit, you reckon? Damn.
It's a fucking fail. Given we have one of the best players in the team.
First good thing you did.
Kept Naz, and if we didn't keep Naz, none of this other stuff would have happened. We wouldn't have got Flanders. We wouldn't have probably got Silvani. We wouldn't have got. We probably wouldn't have had Windy stick around. We may have lost a couple of other players. So, yeah, because we have him and all that, and he's only going to get better. He'll play full-time mid next year. And we got all the other, and we hopefully get Max King back healthy. No excuses, and hopefully an easier fixture as well, because we finished lower, but that's no guarantee. So
yes, just give St Kilda Geelong at Geelong round 1 again to start them off. That'd be good.
I think we're playing Collingwood. I actually think we're playing an opening round, which makes no fucking sense when you think about it.
I thought it had to be a Queensland team.
Well, I think they're still wanting to do that, but they want an MCG game on a Sunday night, which just that more so defeats the purpose. What do you mean by Braxton?
All the interstate fans would love that.
You don't reckon in 2 years' time Naz will be gone? Not if we're contending, mate. I've said this before. Not if we're in contention. If we're like winning finals. If we, very high chance if we don't make a final series in the next 2 years, we won't keep Naz. But Adelaide and Port could be in very different spots to where they are now. So I think there's hopefully a good chance that he doesn't leave in 2 years. But you're very pessimistic with St Kilda, so you're going to say that. But I'm going to say what I want to say and what I think.
I think Melbourne finish bottom 2 next year.
I think they'll finish bottom 4, definitely.
Bottom 2.
Bottom 2, possibly.
If they lose Oliver and Petrarca.
Who drops?
Oliver and Petrarca.
Who else drops? Essen won't also finish bottom 2 if the D's do. It'll be between West Coast, Richmond. I think West Coast still bottom.
I think it'll be West Coast and Melbourne.
How much pull did Jack's funny dad have getting his son? You're quite underrating Jack Silvani, considering you are a Carlton fan. I'm pretty sure. And
is he?
It was one of the.
Is he good or is he?
Started last year really well, dropped off a little bit, but I think it was mainly due to injury, which obviously you don't want that to be a concern next year. But I mean, look, he'll start on our team, and he's a great interceptor and all that, so I think he'll be good.
Yeah, there's just no way Melbourne are good next year. Like, they've lost Judd McVee. He sounds like he's a good player.
Well, he is.
Charlie Spargo.
He's going to be a big loss.
He's a premiership player. And they've brought in Myercheck.
Spargo was declining, to be fair. He's not the biggest loss. Myercheck's all right.
McVee's not bad.
But they'll lose Oliver and Petrarca. And maybe even Stephen May, but I doubt it with all these other players leaving.
I just don't see them doing much next year.
I don't think anyone does. Even the most optimistic of Melbourne fans, to be honest. Like, they didn't have a great year last year. Had off-season issues. They're going to maybe probably rebuild. If his last name wasn't Silvani, he
all-
wouldn't. He would have been delisted years ago. Well, yeah, you probably might be right, but I don't know what point are you trying to make. Like, it's not. I don't know what point are you trying to make with that. Melbourne's
all
next
roads are
player
leading
next
to a
year will be
St Kilda
Langford.
9th finish.
He'll probably be their best midfielder. I wouldn't be so sure player, Langford. I mean, they still have Viney,
Who?
but
Who's this?
Melbourne probably might end up taking the number 1 spot.
Nah.
Can anyone join the
Dawn's
stream? Is
probably
it?
their best player, isn't
Yeah, if you want to join and at this rate, honestly, you can just jump in the call as well because I mean, I'm not too concerned anymore
Chat
with
some shit with us.
if you want to contribute. But obviously, if you don't have anything to say, don't bother. You've got to want to properly
He
contribute.
probably knows more than me.
The link's there though.
He knows
I
a lot more.
sort of wish we had more people that actually gave a shit, but that's okay.
Oh, this is my favourite time of the year.
Oh,
I
is my
actually like
is
it.
my camera off? What the? Oh, it is off. That better not be because the fucking camera is flat. I thought that was Chappie's camera.
I don't know about James
I
Walker.
bet you it is flat. Maybe it's not. Oh no, maybe not. But for that request of joining, I probably won't be on for that much longer. Maybe another 10 minutes, and then that'll be it. Because I've still got a few things I want to do to prepare for tomorrow. Because I'll be going away tomorrow. I'm trying to say, don't expect too much of him.
Oh, true.
I think St Kilda fans are relatively level-headed on Silvani. No one thinks he's going to be a bloody All-Australian or anything like that, but he was actually in the rolling All-Australian team at the start of 2025, according to ESPN. So, he's got the caliber if he's got a full year. But look, you can say all you want, mate. I don't reckon that other guy's going to join, so maybe we'll cut it at 10:10. Would you have preferred someone like... I don't know, honestly. Perhaps. Perhaps. But as Charlie said exactly, he isn't as proven. Alright, let's... I'm not sure what's happening to Jack. I cannot tell if he's still on with us. Chappie. Not sure if he's still there. If not, I might wrap the stream yard up.
Hello.
Are you back? Okay. All right. I was just about to wrap it up, but it's all right. I'm probably going to wrap it up regardless, but I'll let you on for another 3 or 4 minutes. If you've got anything else, I don't know. Can you still see the screen? Anything else that sparks your interest? Yeah, and I think he proved that he can play there quite well, even in the 3 months, Josh.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi's.
No, it's all good.
It's
all good, Huff. I don't expect experts or anything like that to be on the channel, honestly, getting around this sort of stuff. But if you want to do that, it was just an opportunity.
Mate, I'm the closest thing when it comes to an expert.
I'm not an expert. I just know a little bit.
I love watching the footy.
Yes.
I'm not having KO. I don't have KO, which doesn't help.
Still don't have KO. I actually got rid of KO in October just because I'm like, well, I wouldn't pay $40 a month if I'm not going to use it. So I might just get it back when cricket's on.
Fair enough.
But like, no, footy season, you seriously don't have KO during the footy season. And he's cut out again. That might be the call to wrap it up, I reckon. Chap, I might jump off the call now when I can get you on again. I'll wait for him to realise he's back on. I don't know if it's my internet or if it's his,
No.
but
I don't have it, mate.
yeah, it's definitely yours. I'm gonna jump off the call, Chappie, if that's all right, because the internet's starting to bug up a little bit. I might jump off. That's all good.
Hello.
I don't think he can. You there? I don't know if it's me or if
Hello.
it's Chappie. I think your internet's just shit.
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, you're not responding to me.
I can hear you.
Then, all right, respond to me right now. Then, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Then, what was going on before? Why were you saying hello? Could you not hear me?
No, I could hear you, but you just couldn't. For some reason, I was glitched for you, so I'm just trying to get your attention.
Okay.
I think it's your internet because I've got full reception and everything.
It might just be StreamYard's thing. I don't know. Regardless, I'm gonna wrap the call up now because I think it's probably the time to. I've got a few other things to do later, anyways, and we had a good chat and discussion. So I appreciate your
Yeah, fair enough.
opinions and all that. Thank you for getting on. Thank you for being the only one to get on as well.
Too easy.
All right, all good.
Nah, it's all good.
Have a good one.
Catch up.
Not yet. One more. Do you know Noah White? Noah White. Look, I may have seen the name in the streams and the chats and all that, but I really don't know much about Noah White at all. I think I'm just going to wrap it up there. I wanted to test something out a bit different. I don't think this was the best stream in terms of numbers and all that, so we'll go back to the drawing board and all that. We'll see what we can do to make them better. Perhaps it's just because this isn't something particularly so huge that the viewers want to watch on the channel. Trade stuff. I beg to differ. Maybe I'm not the sort of guy that people give a fuck about when it comes to trade stuff, but that's okay because it was still good, and I reckon I'll do another one on Wednesday. But for live streams, videos, I know what to post over the next whatever, but for live streams, I really haven't not got any idea, so it could just be some cool random stuff when I'm away next week, to be honest. Only the real footy buffheads care about trade. Well, look, when I did the deadline day stream, people seemed to care a lot. This was the first time. I actually probably should delete that stream that Nick did, to be honest. But I don't know if I'll be able to actually do that on my laptop. Could be wrong. What was I going on about? I cannot fucking remember. Andy says enjoyed it. Yeah, I appreciate that you sticking around. But for like the most majority, I'm not too sure what they thought of it. Maybe because of Friday night. I don't think that makes a huge difference. I just don't think I've got the audience that care enough for trade content when I don't make enough. And ultimately, a lot just will like, whatever. That's my general take. And it could be because I haven't streamed in a few weeks. So I've got to get more consistent on the streaming pathway, which if that's the case, it's just the fucking reality of making content. You can't go a week without suffering some sort of a drawback. So anyways, enough of the fucking yap. Trade talk, we're going to keep going. Probably not more content for the trade period just because it's going to be way too difficult. If someone asked me before, I'll be in Thailand. Like, there's no chance whilst I'm on holiday, I'm going to be putting up the camera at 3 a.m. and putting out quality videos like that. It's just going to be too difficult. Way too difficult. But I'll still try to do a stream there if I can and pre-film content. So anyways, yeah. I'm leaving it there. Thank you. And we'll see you soon. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be posting tomorrow, actually, to be on the lookout.